Welcome into the Brooks Bench with our host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Brooke.
What's up, y'all?
And Megan.
What's up?
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench. And if you want to stay up to date with everything, follow our Discord link in the description. We have a lot to go over for week 11, so let's start with the news. First off, Maryland guard Bree McDaniel injured her right knee in the first quarter against Minnesota. I don't think she's back. I think she is still nursing that knee. Hopefully, good news for Maryland, though. Ayoka Lee suffered an injury as well in today's game, and I heard it's not good, like long term, and which sucks because I believe this is her last year of eligibility as well. So hopefully it doesn't affect her draft stocks. I know Hannah Hidalgo missed 2 games, which we forgot to talk about last week, but she was back today. She was just nursing some ankle soreness, so probably precautionary, honestly. UConn announced that Aubrey Griffin returned today versus Seton Hall, which is good for UConn. Another healthy body for them. With the Ayoka Lee news, she is the 4th player in Big 12 history to make 1,000 or more field goals in a career. She's also the first player in league history to make 1,000 field goals and appear in the top 6 in Big 12 history for career field goal percentage. We love to see it. For the first time, oh my God, this is crazy. Because you guys know I love Iowa State. But for the first time in nearly 30 years, Iowa State did not make a shot from beyond the arc Tuesday. It ended the Cyclones' 945 game NCAA record streak for having at least one 3-pointer made in a game, which dates back to February 19th, 1995.
Wow. I was confused when I saw this because they made it sound like it was like the worst news ever and that they lost this game so terribly. And like, I was so confused. I had to do like a little research of like why it was, obviously it's a big deal, but like why it was so negative.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, they won the game like by a good margin. And I was so confused for like 2 days.
But isn't that crazy? Can you imagine being known as a team that snapped a 30-year streak?
Yeah. That's older than me and you, Shiggy.
And Megan.
Don't let people try and date us. Like, wow. That is pretty old.
It's older than us.
That's crazy. That is. UConn women's basketball is the first public women's college team to report $3+ million in ticket sales. Their $3.25 million is more than Alabama, Oregon, or Florida men's team the prior year.
That's so much money. Like,
yeah.
Question: do they keep it up after Paige leaves?
I mean, Sarah Strong is somebody to keep.
You're right. She's tough.
So probably.
She's tough. I just know Paige Beckers. You know what those young kids say? She got motion. Have you guys heard of that new slang?
Yeah, I'm tired of this new slang.
Wow.
They got
We're old. We're old.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she has it. But Paige Beckers is officially the fastest player in program to reach 2,000 points. She also joins Maya Moore and Brianna Stewart as the only UConn players to achieve 2,000+ points, 400+ rebounds, 400+ assists, and 200+ steals. That stat right there is insane. And she missed like 2 seasons with injuries, right?
Yeah.
Or a season and a half or whatever. But that stat is crazy.
Yeah, she missed time.
To put in perspective, like how great Brianna Stewart and Maya Moore were for UConn.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Duke allowed the fewest points by a ranked opponent in Duke history versus Cal.
Rough.
I did not think Cal was going to get smacked like that. And we'll talk
love
about
to see it, but rough.
But like, what the heck? Yeah, no, for real. I agree. Don Staley has signed a contract extension through 2029-2030 and is the highest paid coach in NCAA women's basketball history. I should have worn my Don Staley shirt, my jersey, my USA jersey.
About time.
Dang it. We love to see it. And lastly, women's basketball teams will be paid for playing games in the NCAA tournament each March, just like the men have for years under a plan approved Wednesday at the NCAA convention.
I'm so happy about that.
Time.
Yeah, but have you guys like read into it, like looked more into it?
Let me know.
Like,
tell me.
I haven't, like, don't quote me fully on it because I haven't done enough research on it. But they're like, I don't think those teams are actually going to get that money. It's like they will in the long run, but it's not like how we think they're going to get the money.
Okay.
So I got to like do a little bit of extra research. I don't know if that's how the men's team does it. I mean, it's a huge win. Don't get me wrong, but
yes, baby steps.
just interesting to see like how it all unfolds for like these tournaments.
Interesting.
And like where the money goes. I read something and it was, I forget like the wording of it, but essentially it was like they'll get points accumulated and then they can exchange those points out later on for that will equal the, I don't know. It was interesting. So if anybody that's watching like has that information or a link, like throw it in our comments. But
is that,
again, I have not gone
really read into it
much, so don't quote me.
But is it set up just like the men though?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the men and like research it. Obviously, it's probably not going to be, especially for the first year. But
yeah,
it caught me a little off guard of like cool win, but like what's going on? But
well, baby steps in the right direction.
Baby steps, 100%.
So we'll take wins when we can, right?
Yeah.
So we love to see it. And then there's
also,
that little asterisk. Yeah, what's up?
Unrivaled's pretty awesome.
Oh my god, we're gonna have another recap. I forgot to tell you.
I was gonna say it's not in any of this. I just looked.
No,
but
we're gonna recap it. It's gonna be a separate video.
Honestly, I think I like it more than just normal basketball.
Oh my god, it's great. And I wanted to like, cool, yeah. I wanted to save it for our Unrivaled video, but because you brought it up, I want to say that someone said that because Megan is here, our podcast is going to last because we absolutely know nothing. So I want to promote Megan. Megan's getting promoted on the YouTube podcast to executive producer, podcast host, and COO, CEO.
You guys don't want that.
CEO? What are we then?
We're nothing.
I'm demoted at this point. They're going to be like, Brooke doesn't show up ever.
I'm just saying, we don't know basketball. Megan is our god guru of basketball, and let's just clap it off and pray that we have Megan.
Megan, you've come a long ways in our time during this podcast.
We're so thankful for Megan.
Yeah.
Like, we would be nothing without you.
She's giving more personality. She's actually talking every day. She tells you guys bye at the end of the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Love you, Megan. Stay tuned for that. And on Unrivaled recap, which we'll have later date to come.
Was that shout out for me on YouTube or Discord?
No, I think it was on Twitter. I think I got in. I think I found time to get
you out. I haven't been on Twitter in like
someone called me out and I had time that day. It's okay. We'll go over
it. You out?
Oh yeah, we'll go over it on Unrivaled recap. Stay tuned. I'll just go to that video. We won't take up too much time on that. But let's go. No, we're going into the week 11 recap. Let's go.
I'm trying to do my research here. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so undefeated team watch. We have LSU and UCLA still undefeated. Ohio State dropped the ball. We'll go over it, but Ohio State dropped the ball. Dude, what did I say? Drop the ball? Drop the ball. Anyways, before we get into the AP Top 25, I do want to ask you guys, who do you think loses the win streak first, LSU or UCLA? And I'll let you know their upcoming games. 5 seconds. Hold on. UCLA plays Maryland, South Carolina, and LSU play next. So that's what would be the biggest next matchups for each team. So who do you think loses next? Or snaps their win streak next? I mean, I guess it could go further than this week, but if you had to guess, who snaps their win streak first?
LSU.
I knew you were going to say it.
I mean,
this is funny.
Save it for Unrivaled recap.
That's a good one. Sorry, I missed the blink. What's your question?
Okay, so LSU and UCLA are both undefeated right now, right?
Okay.
Who loses first? LSU plays South Carolina next.
Okay.
UCLA plays Maryland next. Those are the biggest matchups next.
LSU.
Okay, everyone's going to ride with LSU. And you guys can say that, like, okay, LSU could take South Carolina. Like, we can go on to the next week. But, no, we're still feeling LSU.
Here's my thought process with it. Is, like, LSU has had more, like, almost losses.
Yeah, I know they have.
And so, like, that's what stresses me out. UCLA's been pretty dominant. And Maryland's doing really well this year. But I don't think they're as dominant as UCLA is. You said it several weeks ago now. There is a very distinct difference from the top, I guess, like 6 right now to the rest of like everybody else. I guess we got to include Texas, so 7 on like level of play, and it's kind of astronomical. So I still am going to say LSU on that one.
I agree with you. I think Maryland's had a good run. I still think the South Carolina game, LSU game is gonna be close. I'm not saying
Oh
it's gonna
yeah.
be a blowout either way. But I do agree. If it had to come down to this week, I would say LSU would be the one that gets their win streak snapped. I'm not discounting Maryland because it's not like UCLA's had a tough schedule, okay? They haven't. They haven't had a crazy tough schedule. And Maryland has. Maryland has some tough games, okay? But what do you think, Meg? Did you say LSU?
Yeah, I said
Okay.
LSU.
So you agree?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want to know. Megan, the guru, agreed with us. So let's just move on from
And
there.
listen, I wasn't here last weekend, but I will give Meg her credit on this one with Maryland almost beating who was at USC. That was a crazy game.
Yeah,
I did watch that game.
Oh, yeah!
So
they hung in there hard. They
Meg
battled.
her shout out on that one.
That was so close. It was a really good game, too.
It was a great game, yeah.
Okay, so over to the AP Top 25. Iowa and Michigan both bounced out, which we both said last week. Minnesota, Oklahoma State are new to the poll. Cal rose up 6 spots, ranked 18. UNC up 5 spots, ranked 14. I'm curious to see, because Duke killed Cal so badly, I'm curious to see what that does to their ranking. Also, Oklahoma State lost a tough one as well. I mean, we say it every week. The 23 spot to the 24, 25 spot always change, and it's always going to mix. Michigan State, I mean, not Michigan State. Michigan is still receiving votes. Same with Mississippi State. Indiana, I feel like is a sleeper. They've been giving these teams, I know they haven't been winning the big games, but they've been giving the big teams a run for their money, and I don't want it to go unnoticed. I wanted to give them a little shout out there. But anyone else you guys think is going to crack the top 25 this week in general? I don't think anyone in mind. Like, I'm looking at people that are receiving votes from last week, and I know Utah, Oklahoma State, and Minnesota. Did Minnesota win? Actually, I think Minnesota won. Before I miss.
I mean, I could see like Michigan and Mississippi State getting back in there, but it'll depend on what those 22 to 25 ranked teams will do.
Yeah. And I know I've been talking about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt finally got a big win over Tennessee, which we'll talk about, but they could crack the top 25. They've been waiting for that big win. But I mean, nothing too crazy this week, I would say, to mix up the top 25.
Yeah, agreed.
You would agree, Meg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're 2 for 2. So we're just gonna move on now. Okay.
If Megan says.
Yeah, we're on a roll. Okay, now that we're over that, Megan, let's please grace us with your almost upsets of the week.
Phew, that was a close one.
Action.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you're just talking about Vanderbilt. So that LSU Vanderbilt game, guys, it was close.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were gonna
if Vanderbilt could have upset LSU, then I would have saw them cracking the 25.
I agree.
But yeah, so 83 to 77. When I say it came all the way down to the wire, it was like pretty much tied up at the end of every quarter going into the fourth. And LSU just barely squeaked this out just towards the end. Vanderbilt just couldn't pull it off. But Vanderbilt was led by Camille Pierre, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and Ayanna Moore, 23 points, 2 rebounds. And then, of course, LSU, they're starting 5. They don't have a bench, really. It's Flau'jae Johnson, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Anissa Morrow, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist. And Michaela Williams, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
The fact it was that close with those 3 scoring in the 20s is crazy.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
But, I mean, Vanderbilt, you better watch out.
I know. They're sneaky. I love it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
The next close game was the USC versus Indiana game. Shig, I know you watched this one. It was 73 to 66. It looked like USC kept pulling away, and then they would let them come back.
Yeah,
pull away, let them come back. Indiana was led by Sydney Parrish, 16 points, 10 rebounds, and Chloe McNeil, 13 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. Of course, Juju Watkins led USC, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and then Kennedy Smith did her thing, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Anything to add on this one? I didn't get to watch this game today.
I only caught the fourth quarter, but they were saying Juju was struggling. I think she had like 16 points going into the fourth, and Indiana was making it hard for her. I will say Indiana has been giving, like I said, been giving these teams, ranked teams a run for their money. I know they're not closing it out, but they are, tough. They're without, what's her name? Sarah Ashley Barker? Is that her name? Now that I'm forgetting. They are without her, for a couple weeks now. But I mean, at the end, it was like, give the ball to Juju, let her go to the line. Like, just let her work, let her get fouled, let her go to the line, and that's how they kind of close it out. Kenny Smith was clutch towards the end as well, and Indiana just couldn't basically finish it. But yeah, it was close there for a second.
I feel like every time I watch USC, like I don't know if I'm just the only one. I'm not fully sold on them yet.
I know.
I don't know if it's like a meshing thing. Like, I love the coach. I think they have amazing players. They're a great team. Like, don't get me wrong. But there's something like just that's not,
Clicking.
wrapping them into a bow. Not to say they're not going to go far in the tournament or anything, but there's just something missing that I'm not fully sold on yet. And they have the endurance. I mean, they're still beating these teams regardless if they're ranked or not. But yeah, there's been a couple close calls recently with USC where I'm like, it's a good thing you held on, because that was you would have dropped.
I think it's the bench, honestly. Like, it's the inconsistency of the bench, and then when it's a tight game, the coach trusting only in the starters, and if they're not in foul trouble, she's going to ride them. But Juju's going to do her thing. Yeah. But, I mean, there's going to be, when it goes to the tournament and you just draw up defensive plays where you can contain Juju, then the rest of the team has to step up or they're going to lose.
Yeah. And I think we said it before. It's kind of like we see them on paper and we're like, wow, they're so good.
Yeah.
Like, this is the team. And then we watch them and we're like, that's not the team we're picturing in our head, kind of thing. It still all relies on Juju, in my opinion. Like, I feel like Kiki has taken a hit draft stock wise, honestly, which is unfortunate because I think she has the potential to be like great. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just not the fit with USC, like the system they run. Maybe it's just not, a right fit. And we saw that with Haley Van Lith. LSU wasn't the right fit. It all just depends on the system you're in, right? For you to succeed. So, I mean,
I think it's just too, like, with them being like kind of so they have young players, right? And then they have players that just got together this year.
Yeah.
And it's about making the right decisions as far as taking the right shots. And I mean, people might hate me for this, but their coach she's not the one.
She definitely, like, to me, like, I like her, like I just said, but I do agree. I don't know if USC is her team.
Yeah.
I think it's controversial. I think it's controversial. I feel like she's been doing good because she got that recruit.
Well, Juju did hit a nice little what was it, 3-pointer buzzer beater.
Sometimes it's all about how you recruit. We see that all the time.
Asia Wilson to South Carolina, baby. Making her stay home. Delicate Dawn.
I mean, Paige over to UConn. Like, it's all about how you recruit, how you get those kids over there.
Yeah. Was that all your almost upsets?
Yeah.
All right, small this week. Okay, let's get into the AP Top 25 matchups and upsets. If you're new here, that's what we go over. Any AP Top 25 matchup and any upsets to an AP Top 25 team. So first, we'll start with Maryland defeating Minnesota 99-92. Girl. All of a sudden. No,
let me get a Maryland win today, okay? I've had heartbreak today, so.
It's okay. Cheyenne Sellers led Maryland 27 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Kayleen Smichael, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Amaya Battle for Minnesota, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. This is actually a close game. So Maryland did start to pull away in the third. They went on a 16-4 run in the third to push the lead to 14. But in the fourth, they got sloppy. A lot of turnovers towards the end of the game. Minnesota cashed in some big threes at the end of towards the end of the fourth, going on a 16-0 run. It just wasn't enough. Smichael hit a clutch 3 at the end to secure the win. But yeah, I mean, Maryland, you squeaked one out. You're just still alive, right, Maryland? I'm hoping you give UCLA a run for your money.
Listen, let me just shout out Maryland.
Oh my God.
for making all 21 of their free throws
I know I saw that
because that's
100%.
how you win games. Okay?
We should have an award for
Take
that.
notes.
Take notes. This is the first time they've done that all season, I believe. Notice.
And look, and a close game,
And they won.
It wins you close games.
You're right, Megan. Why did I ever go against that? You're right. Lovely. Great advice. Maryland did have 18 turnovers, though. Let's talk about that.
One thing at a time, okay?
Okay. Well, Minnesota capitalized on those turnovers, 20 points, and they had 46 points in the paint versus Maryland's 34.
I love that. That's my
Yes.
favorite stat line.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Maryland shot 100% from the free throw line.
I was gonna say the same thing. It apparently wins games. Is what I'm
It
hearing.
wins games,
Wins
baby.
games.
All the points count. Go Terps. How do you? Okay, Megan. Let's just pause at this point. You know what's Megan said it's a terrapin. Why did she let me keep saying terpin?
What is a terrapin? That's what I was.
It's a turtle.
Turtle.
You guys are the Ninja Turtles?
Mhm.
Maryland Ninja
First of all, doesn't turpin sound better than terrapin? I just want to put that out there. I don't know. But Megan's been letting me say terpin when it's really terrapin. So I've just been looking a fool. I'm
A
just
lot of
going to
people
keep it
say
at
it like
Terps.
that, so.
The Terps. Go
I'm just gonna
Terps.
keep it at Maryland.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Okay, Baylor upsets number 23 Utah 70-61. Baylor was led by Aaronette Vonleh, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Bella Fauntleroy. What'd I say? Bella.
You did say
Let's
Bela.
get it together, Brooke. All right, Bella Fauntleroy, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 steals. And Gianna Neepkins led Utah 17 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. It was a back and forth game the whole game. Baylor led 43-32, almost 4 minutes in the second half before Wilkie hit 3 threes in a 16-4 run to give Utah a 1-point lead with 41 seconds left in the third quarter. But Ines hit a jumper to cut Utah's deficit to 60-59 with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left in the game. Vonleh answered with the layup 17 seconds later to spark a 10-0 run to make it an 11-point game with 23 seconds remaining. Baylor's been disappointing because we had high hopes for Baylor when Vonleh transferred there. They've been out of the top 25 since like week 2 or week 1. It's been a while since we talked about Baylor, which is very disappointing. But Baylor did shoot 53% from the field. Utah only shot 40%. And they only shot 66% from the free throw line. See, if they would have made their free throws, they might have been in this game, baby.
Would have won the game.
Come on now. Baylor did score 44 points in the paint, while Utah only scored 28. What in the world? 28 points in the paint. And then Utah did turn the ball over 21 times. Bummer. Sorry, Utah. I feel like Utah's going to be out of the top 25.
Yeah, probably.
It's a wrap.
They're too close to the 25 mark.
It's a wrap right there, baby. And they got to respect Vanderbilt's win, which we'll talk about soon. Hold on. Oh, did anyone watch this game? Sorry. I was just going to move on.
No, but good for Baylor to be able to win without Little Paige Bug.
I know. I heard she's out.
She was suspended, yeah.
She was in a fight with who were they playing?
That Arizona team.
Arizona. Yeah.
Why did I miss that news line?
Which actually, I think it was like she didn't really do anything, right? Like I'm thinking the right.
I think it was stupid too, but
yeah,
they gave her a 1-game suspension. So
like she didn't swing or anything. Like I mean, she was about to. Don't get me wrong. Like I watched the video. Like she was full on ready. She squared up and everything. But like in reality, she was like fully defending herself, and they kicked both the girls out, of course, because that's like
sucks.
protocol now. But yeah, she like really didn't do much. The other girl was causing a ruckus.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's my favorite Baylor player, Little Paige Bucks.
That's my favorite name.
I know. Just
no,
goes.
that's a cool name.
For real. All right, over to Houston defeating Oklahoma State 79-76. Sayonara, Oklahoma State from the AP Top 25. How in the world? I think I was telling Megan this. Houston was like 0-5 in their conference before this game. I might have made that up. Megan,
Houston.
fact check that, please. Yeah.
Actually, is it the women's basketball? It might have been men's basketball. No, I think it was women's. I can't remember. No, it was women's because I was reading about Stanford too. It was like Stanford, Houston, and somebody else were like the last 3 teams of the Power 4 conferences, I think, to beat a ranked opponent.
Oh my gosh.
Or something like that. It was somebody can fact check me on that one.
Well, congratulations, Houston.
But-
Megan, did you find the stat?
No, but Houston they have 12 losses, so I believe it.
Well, what was their conference play? I swear it was like 0-5.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing
I think they're last.
Lovely.
Yeah, for real. Okay, but Houston was led by Kiara Merchant, 20 points, 2 assists, 4 steals. Gigi Cook, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Oklahoma State was led by Staley Hurd, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. Houston did go on a 12-0 run in the final 4 minutes of the half, turning a 28-27 deficit into a 39-28 advantage. Houston kept the offensive onslaught and went on to a 58-33 lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third. The thing that turned this game around, which I did see, was Oklahoma State basically went to a press at the beginning of the fourth quarter and just stayed in that and basically got themselves within like a couple points. The only thing was that Staley Hurd, she hit a clutch 3 to bring them within 3 with 15 seconds to go. She had a steal, and then basically she had a good look, and it just rimmed out. She had a good look at the 3, rimmed out, and they lost the game. It was a heartbreaker. Yeah, it was a bummer. And it sucks, but it's like any given day. Like the worst team. It's like the team you don't expect to lose to, you always lose to. Like that's how it always happens.
They were 0 for 6.
Who? Oklahoma State?
Houston in the conference.
Oh, see? Yeah. They were they were on 6. Told you. It's a team you would least expect to lose to, you're gonna lose to.
Because they got nothing to worry about. Like
exactly.
They have nothing to lose. Like
it's like we're just having
Houston's
fun.
Balling out now. Yeah. Like we'd be last in the conference, run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
No, for real. No, I agree with you. Houston did shoot 35% from the 3, while Oklahoma State only shot 28%. They did shoot better from the free throw line, 80% versus Oklahoma State's 66%. See?
You would have made those free throws.
Makes
a
difference.
Different win.
You would have won, baby. We need a slogan for just free throws because that's our thing.
We get a t-shirt. T-shirt opportunity.
For real. I mean, they're even on turnovers. Houston had 23. Oklahoma State had 22. And they both capitalized off points off turnovers, 30 and 25 points. Congratulations, Houston. I think you were right. I did see something about Houston winning against a ranked team. Like it was something crazy.
I don't know where I found that, or I might have been NCAA like .com because I feel like I'm always on that website. But because I was like, dang, those 3 teams are the last out of the whole Power 4 conferences. Like that's not just one conference. That's all of them. So I thought that was a crazy stat line.
Well, congratulations, Houston. We're here for it.
Now there's 2.
Yeah. 2, South Carolina defeats number 19 Alabama 76-58. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I came home from work and I saw that it was close, going into the 4th, I was like, excuse me, South Carolina, what is happening? Don't worry, they handled their business. It was a wrap. South Carolina was led by Joyce Edwards, 21 points, 6 rebounds. And Malaysia Fulwiley, 16 points, 4 rebounds. And Essence Cody led Alabama, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. They both shot horrible from the 3. 15% from South Carolina, 18% from Alabama. South Carolina, free throw. We need to come up with a slogan about this free throw line. Because 90% from the free throw line for South Carolina, 62% from Alabama. What is going on here? South Carolina also out-rebounded Alabama 51-34. That's crazy. In South Carolina, I'm not going to lie, the last time we've talked about them, their turnovers have been high, but they're killing these teams. And it's just crazy. Like, you can turn over the ball that many times and still win. It's just amazing what they can do. Basically, the takeaways from the game, despite shooting just 3 for 20 from three-point range, the Gamecocks dominated in the paint 38 points, including 19 second chance points. First of all, you can't give South Carolina the first chance points. You're going to give them the second chance point? It's a wrap right there.
And not even about the free throws at this point. These 19 second chance points.
Wow. That's the difference maker right there. Yeah, that's basically it. Anyone else have any comments on this game?
Nope.
All right, Brooke, I know you watched this game. Number 3
did.
Notre Dame defeats number 17 Georgia Tech 81-66. Let us know. I only basically saw highlights of this game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, I didn't realize that Hannah Hidalgo was injured.
Yeah.
So I
And
was
there-
very confused. Like,
Mhm.
well, because like in my office, like the TV's super far away, or I have
Yeah.
to turn around completely and watch.
Mhm.
So like as I'm typing or something, like I look up and I was like, well, I haven't heard Hannah Hidalgo. I haven't seen her. And then the ball go and I'd like look on the bench and I finally looked it up and realized that she was hurt.
Yeah.
But then I saw something else, so we might have to dig a little bit on that one. That she like posted something pretty like controversial not too long ago. And like she kind of got in trouble with the coaching staff. I don't know, something weird like that was also happening, I think.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay too much attention about that, but I was really excited for this game, conference game. Georgia Tech's been looking good. I mean,
Yeah.
Notre Dame not having Hannah Hidalgo. But to be honest, that was probably the best I've ever seen Notre Dame look. Holy moly. Georgia Tech. I don't know what happened to them, but
yeah.
Notre Dame was just making the most routine, beautiful plays, like pass, shoot, hardly any dribbling.
Mhm.
It was a job well done from Notre Dame, but honestly, like then Georgia Tech like kind of ebbed and flowed too much in it.
Mhm.
Georgia Tech, yeah, like their lows are low, their highs are high, and
Yeah.
they got to figure out how to kind of wave that in a little bit more consistently on the like even in the middle somewhere.
Mhm.
But I mean, like for Notre Dame, like 46 points in the paint.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Like layups, like beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
Sonia Citron, great job. It was
Yeah.
it was a chef's kiss type game from Notre Dame. It was gorgeous.
And the thing is, with Hannah Hidalgo out, I feel like Sonia Citron gets to be the star
Mhm.
again, which
Mhm.
I think people forget about her, because Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, that's all they talk about. But Sonia
Yeah.
Citron is like really good, and I feel like we don't really get to talk about her a lot because, like I said, Hidalgo, Miles are always in the top, when we talk about them.
Yeah.
So this let Westbell and Citron both shine, which was nice. But I mean, yeah. Like we said, the tiers. It's the tiers. Like, of course, Georgia Tech's been on fire. They did get upset last week that we talked about, but they're still in the top 25. But there's tiers to everything. And
Yeah.
this game showed you, another example of those tiers, basically.
It also seemed like Georgia Tech might have been a little bit nervous. Like Notre Dame has a good showing at their games, and especially for
Yeah.
conference and two ranked opponents. Like, why wouldn't you go to this game?
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's crowd was loud, like they were roaring. So, I mean,
Mhm.
add that factor into it, where I'm sure, no offense, Georgia Tech, but how what's their average attendance at their games? Like
Mhm.
going into those top 5-10 teams into that like environment is crazy, and Notre Dame's not too easy on anybody.
I bet. And I mean, Georgia Tech didn't shoot that well either. 37% from the field, 26% from the three. I mean, and Notre Dame shot pretty well. 54% from the field, 46% from the three. So
I will say though, I gotta look up their roster. There's one girl on Georgia Tech, baller. It took
Is it
her a
Cara
minute to
Dunn?
find it. I hope is she the tall like shooter?
Oh, wait, I don't know. No, I think
Oh.
she's shorter. We
Why
always
did I-
talk about Cara Dunn when we talk about Georgia Tech, though. She's always coming up.
Let me look it up. We'll have to come back to that one. But no, she's a baller. It took her a minute to get like warmed up, but she was making some like clean moves like we see some of these top players do.
Well, while you look at that, Maddie Westbelt led Notre Dame 20 points, 5 rebounds. Sonia Citron 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and then Cara Dunn for Georgia Tech 21 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I feel like we never talk about anyone else besides Cara Dunn in Georgia Tech. I don't know. The last couple weeks have always been like that.
The problem with these pictures on their rosters is they all do their hair and they do their makeup.
Like, yeah,
I can't figure out. They're not standing. It's their shoulders up. I don't know who any of these people are when they look like this. No, I think it. Maybe it was her. I don't know.
She's shorter though. I don't think she's taller. Like she's a guard.
Oh, not this girl. I would have to. Maybe it was a different. I'd have to do a little bit of research. I'll get back to everybody.
Alrighty. Let's go over to Duke. Just killing Cal, 72-38. There's not a lot to talk about this game, guys, so we're just going to go a little quick. Cal shot 16% from the three, 35% from the field, 50% from the free throw line. Usually their leading scorer, I think her name is Marta Suarez. We always talk about her. I think she was held to like 6 points. That's already telling as it
4.
is. 4. There we go. 4 points. Toby Fournier led Duke 23 points, 11 rebounds. Ashton Jackson 16 points, 2 rebounds. And Kayla Williams led Cal 8 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. Yeah. It was just a... let me just... This stat made me like giggle a little. Cal, and let me know if I'm wrong, Meg. Cal had 31 turnovers. Is that a typo on my end?
No, that's right. They had a
Yeah.
lot of turnovers.
31 turnovers. Duke capitalized and scored 32 points off of turnovers. And I want to just like give a little giggle funny story because 31 turnovers is crazy. Let me tell you, when I was playing basketball in high school, I had a coach named Coach Mo. We had a bad game. And when I tell you guys this number of turnovers we had, just know we were freshmen. Okay? Like don't take it too seriously. We had 64 turnovers. Okay. And let me tell you, the next practice, we ran 64 up and backs. Okay? Do you know have you ever ran 64 up and backs?
Yeah.
And Coach Mo, if you're watching this was also like 30 years ago whenever I played high school basketball. I'm sorry, but that's ingrained. That's ingrained in my head, okay? 64 up and backs, counting out loud, back and forth.
You had more turnovers than there were minutes in the game.
Yes, exactly. And you know how mad? I don't even know if you guys knew who Coach Mo was. This man, if you ever, oh my God. It was brutal. It's just ingrained in my mind. So every time I see turnovers, it's like PTSD because I just remember running. And that year I ran a great mile because I was so in conditioning. Because
you should reach out to Coach Mo. Let's get him on the pod.
Oh, he would kill us.
Megan does owe us a lot, so I think this would be a great opportunity to...
I would tremble in my boots.
We should have all our old coaches.
Great guy, though. He's a great guy. Love him.
See, you do the pod.
Made me tremble. I don't think he'd want to come.
That's how you got so good at the 2 mile in college.
Exactly. Because of Coach Mo making me run so many miles.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
And Shiggs was a little speedster.
Yeah, I was gone.
She would pass us all.
Coach Mo. I had to give all my credit to Coach Mo. Speed and endurance. Thank you, Coach. All right. Enough of my 64 turnover story. Let's go over to the TCU. What are they called? Horned frogs? Did I make that up?
Horned frogs.
Horned frogs.
ED. Horned.
Horned. Defeating number 23 Utah 81-73. Haley Van Lith 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Sedona Prince 23 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks. And Gianna Neepkins for Utah 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. That's crazy. TCU shot 42% from the 3, while Utah shot 34%. They're close in field goal, free throw percentage, 90% versus 82%. This one actually perplexed me that Utah out-rebounded TCU with Sedona Prince there. Just perplexing. Not a lot of turnovers, though. TCU only had 9. Utah had 15. And this other perplexing stat. Utah had 30 points in the paint, and TCU only had 15. Is that right? No one? Yeah? Wow. Okay, because Sedona's there.
Utah's for sure out of the top 25. That's that's top 25 losses.
They're out. It's a wrap. I did watch this one. TCU did dominate the first half, and then they just let Utah come back. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Get it together. Utah cut the lead with to 13 going into the fourth. Who laughed at me? Megan? Megan, did you laugh at me?
Not at you.
Oh, at TCU?
At TCU.
Okay, gotcha. With 4 minutes left in the fourth, Utah cut the lead to 61-69, but then with 45 seconds left, Neepkins hit a clutch 3, bringing the score to 69-76, and then Utah couldn't come back. It was a wrap. It was like a glimmer of hope for Utah for 5 seconds, and then TCU was really killing them in the first half. And in the fourth, they let them back. And then TCU slammed the door with some free throws. And that's a wrap. And that's all she wrote. Anyone else watch this game?
Nope.
No, I didn't watch the game, but I will say that I'm glad to see that Haley's back. The only thing I will say is it looks like she's jacking a little bit, especially with the three. If she can just, reel
What'd
it
she
in,
shoot?
be a little bit more consistent. But other than that, I'm just glad that she's with TCU and able to show more of the old Haley that we missed, that we didn't get to see at LSU.
I'm not gonna lie.
Haley Van Lith would thrive in Unrivaled.
Well, yeah, she did really well. She put the Olympic team on her back for that bronze medal. Okay, so I agree with you. I'm not gonna lie. Sedona Prince has been having a pretty good season. Are we moving her up to second round in the draft yet, or is she still third rounder?
Sedona Prince is having a good season because she's 32 and everybody else is 22. He's like,
okay, but with her stats, do you think she's going? Are we still bumping her? Pre-draft.
She's also 7 feet tall.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, if I had a team, I'm not drafting.
You know where she would do great on for me is Phoenix.
Just be quiet. Because you hate Phoenix.
Yeah.
She's just throwing all the teams there. Okay. All right. On that note, we're going to move on.
Everyone you hate, Phoenix.
Yeah, 100%.
Phoenix, you should draft
They're on a little island for me. Please.
Oh, my God.
On that note, the world a service.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they got to fill in for Brittany Griner when she retires, so maybe. All right, so we've reached some technical difficulties where apparently I'm lagging on Brooke and Megan's end, and they get what I'm saying 20 seconds later. So I'm going to speed round these last 3 games, and if they laugh, it's because I'm probably talking and they're just getting it now, okay? So Penn State defeats number 9 Ohio State 69-59, and this snaps Ohio State's undefeated streak. Penn State was like 0-7, Ohio State was 6-0. Any given day, you can lose. All right. So Penn State was led by Gabby Elliott, 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Jayla Odin, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Chance Gray led Ohio State, 18 points, 2 rebounds. So Penn State obviously out-rebounded Ohio State 39-21. Penn State did have 21 turnovers and 13 turnovers by Ohio State. The Buckeyes led for more than 23 minutes, but played a disastrous fourth quarter that saw them hit just 2 of 12 field goals. They failed to make one over the final 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Elliott hit a pair of layups less than a minute apart over the final 2 minutes 31 seconds to give Penn State the lead for a good, but made an errant pass. Okay, in the final minute. McMahon picked it off, passed to Gray, who missed a 3-pointer. And that was a wrap. Gray did have like 2 chances to tie this game up and missed both of them, but hey, it was Penn State's day. Like I said, Brooke and Megan will not be commenting on these games because obviously there's a lag. So I don't know so they're just going to be silent bystanders. If they want to tune in, if they want to say something and it's off, it's fine. Number 2, South Carolina defeats number 13, Oklahoma, 101-60. I was excited for this game, but Oklahoma just did not come through. South Carolina is just them. Like, you can't beat South Carolina at this point, except UCLA, but I still don't know how UCLA beat South Carolina. It's fine. Joyce Edwards led South Carolina 17 points, 4 rebounds. Malaysia Fulwiley, 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. And then Reagan Beers, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. This is just another game that South Carolina was playing with Oklahoma than just the entire game. Like, it wasn't even close. It never really got close. South Carolina only had 6 turnovers, which is an improvement from the last couple of games. Oklahoma had 22 turnovers, and South Carolina capitalized it with 32 points off of turnovers. And basically, yeah, Oklahoma couldn't really do much. They shot 25% from the 3. They only had 5 points off turnovers, and they lost in points in the paint. South Carolina 44-26 points. Yeah, I was in and out of this game as well. Just because they, like I said, South Carolina was just dominant from the get-go. And Joyce Edwards and Malaysia Fawiley are just two great pieces off the bench for South Carolina that are really just contributing, and it's going to affect them in March, honestly. I'm going to take a long pause and just, did any of you watch this game? And there's going to be a long pause. No.
No. I mean, when I saw the score 28-9, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be one of those blowouts.
It was bad. I will tell you that. I was bummed out because I've been talking highly about Oklahoma, but they've been letting me down a couple of these games, so I'll move on. Next, Vanderbilt. Heartbreaking loss. Upsetting number 15 Tennessee 71-70. I did want to talk about this stat. Tennessee had not had a single-digit scoring quarter coming into today. Vanderbilt held Tennessee to just 5 points in the second. Obviously, it's a heartbreaker because Vanderbilt won on a putback. It wasn't a buzzer beater because they had like 0.4 seconds left, Tennessee, but it was over. Basically a buzzer beater. But Tennessee keeps losing these close games. Vanderbilt finally gets a tough win over an AP top 25 opponent, another team that's been doing very well this year. Vanderbilt was led by Michaela Blake's 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 points. Camille Pierre, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And then Talasia Cooper led Tennessee, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I feel like just Tennessee, one with their tough schedule, just losing these close games, just getting these bad losses, which is tough. But hopefully a battle test them for March Madness. Tennessee did shoot 23% from the 3, which is not the best. But other than that, the stat line for each team was very, very close. And I mean, it contributed. Like I said, Tennessee only scored 5 points in the second, which that's just insane. Any thoughts on Vanderbilt? Do you guys think they'll crack the top 25?
They have a good shot, I would say.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Tennessee. I've been rooting for them hard. I know, Brooke, you said you like the coach. I like her. I've seen some of her interviews. She's tough, but
they're a good team. They're good defensively. Like, I love their defense and I love their hustle. I love how they press the ball like all the time. But yeah, you got to hit. You got to be able to capitalize. And, their threes were just not on point.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. We will end it off with the Week 12 upcoming games we're looking forward to. Monday, January 20th, Texas takes on Maryland. Megan. Do you think Maryland upsets Texas?
I think there's a good chance, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I don't think Texas, we've seen Texas have some bad games, so get them in foul trouble and it's a wrap.
All right. We have one for Maryland. I do think Maryland can upset Texas. I agree with you. Brooke, what do you think?
I don't know. It might be a good matchup. We'll see. Where is it at? It's at Maryland?
I don't know. Is it at Maryland? Maybe?
It is in a neutral spot. It's a MLK game, I think. New Jersey.
Oh, cool. Well,
it'll be a good game. It'll be fun. But I think Texas might run away with it.
Alrighty. Wednesday, January 22nd, we have TCU versus Oklahoma State. Probably TCU takes that one. I know Oklahoma State, they might drop out of the top 25, but Thursday, January 23rd, we have South Carolina versus LSU, Maryland versus Ohio State. Who do you guys got each game?
South Carolina and Maryland.
I knew you were going to say that.
South Carolina for sure. If Ohio State kicks it into gear, they'll win it off of just being very upset over this week.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think another really good matchup for Maryland.
Yeah, Thursday is going to be the games to watch. I do take South Carolina. The Maryland-Ohio State game is giving me the same vibe as Texas versus Maryland. So that one's a coin flip, but I feel like... do I bet against your
Who has the hardest
Terrapins?
week?
Huh?
Maryland.
Clearly, Maryland
has the hardest week.
Maryland's had the hardest week the last 3 weeks or so. Like, it's tough.
They got 3 top 25 matchups within 7 days.
That's rough. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I think Ohio State bounced back. Sorry, Meg. Tough loss versus Vanderbilt. Or not Vanderbilt. What did I say? Penn State. Sorry, Penn State. I think maybe Ohio State. I'll probably regret those words. And then lastly, Sunday, January 26th, UCLA versus Maryland. Does Maryland upset UCLA, Megan?
Unfortunately not. UCLA will still stay undefeated.
No hope. Are you kidding me? You're supposed to say yes, Maryland will upset UCLA.
I gotta be realistic, okay?
Yeah, but wouldn't it be crazy if they do?
Oh yeah, I'll go crazy.
Yeah, that's a tough schedule. Texas, Ohio State, UCLA. What a trio. I think you guys will at least win one of those matchups.
I agree.
Yeah,
You'll win one.
If I could choose who I would love to see them beat, it would be UCLA.
Yeah. But I think you guys go 1-3.
Yeah.
Or 1-2.
And I can see them like that Ohio State, like they could top Ohio State.
Yeah, I
don't
would agree.
think they're going to top Texas or UCLA, but you never know. We're getting to almost February.
You never know. You never know. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, especially with our technical difficulties. We appreciate you guys. Comment what you guys think about these upcoming matchups. It's going to be a jam-packed week, and I'm excited. College game day is going to the South Carolina versus LSU game, too, so that'd be cool. That'd be super fun. But like I said, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Follow us on all social media. We're here every week to recap the women's college basketball games. So we'll be back next week with the Week 12 recap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back. Peace.
Bye, y'all.